We're sitting here and the title's not still up for grabs. What have you asked of the guys in these last 2 rounds for rounding off the championship?
Well, we've got 2 games to go. That we don't know where that's going to leave us at the end of the competition if we did manage to get 2 wins. But there's a lot to play for. There's a higher up place in the table, but also our own performances, how we work during the week to produce a performance that we're proud of, that make our supporters proud, but also to earn that winning feeling. So we were close at Twickenham, and that fuels the motivation to do better next game.
Do you feel like you've got what you deserve from this championship so far?
Oh, that's for other people to decide. I feel that the performance against England was one of our best that we've had over the last few years. We didn't get the win, and in other games we've had the win. But at the end of the day, the final scoreboard is what decides where you are on the table.
What are you expecting from Wales? They're obviously on this long losing run, but showed a bit against Ireland to suggest they might be turning the corner.
They did. I thought they were very good, and you could argue that they had opportunities to win that game, and they had in the balance of play. They dominated large parts of it. They're a quality side. Like they've been on a run where they've obviously had those defeats, but they've got some really good players. I actually thought they started the game very well against France, and France took their opportunities that day. And then against Ireland, they were excellent. I think defensively, they really fill the field well. They're hard to break down. They showed their strength at scrum time. They've also had a really good maul, and they've got experienced players back in their team now that they've played a lot of test matches. So and they're playing with freedom. You could see that against Ireland, and I'm sure they'll come up with that spirit of wanting to try things this weekend.
Adam Jones said earlier in the week all the pressure's on Scotland. He feels like Wales have got a bit of a free hit here. Do you feel that pressure, you and the team, to deliver a win on the weekend?
No, I think both teams will feel the privilege of playing for your country and what is required in a performance to do that, a privilege of justice. And everyone knows Test match rugby's are really tough physically, so that's what we demand of our players. But looking at them, yeah, maybe they do feel it's a free hit. It certainly was the case last week against Ireland, but their expectations will have gone up. They're now working hard to get a victory, so I'm sure there'll be moments in the game where you've got to be together as a team. You've got to be positive mentally, and that'll apply to both teams.
Do you accept, Gregor, that Scotland do have to win this game to salvage something from this championship? Because 1 win from 4 heading for Paris wouldn't be a great situation.
It wouldn't be, but we've just got to focus on how we get the victory, how we build on what we did well against England, and we're going to not think anything else outside of that.
Darcy has been at the leash to get back out there after the few weeks he's had.
Yeah, he trained well last week when we had the guys in that weren't playing for the clubs at the weekend. He actually looked good out in Spain, but he was taken out of all the contact, and he's looked really good this week. So yeah, he's had an enforced rest rightly, but he looks like the same. Darcy was playing so well for us before he got the injury.
I see Kyle Rowe did really well down at Twickenham, but do you feel Darcy's one of these difference makers when in this whole championship? He's one of these winners that can do something out of nothing.
Absolutely, and he played really well against Italy. I think he had 11 tackle breaks that day. His work off the ball is outstanding, so he gets himself into positions to carry. His contact work is excellent, and his ability to beat players is up there with the best in the world. So yeah, he's been a key player for us, and it was great to see Kyle Rowe again play well and look so confident and controlled, playing test level. But Darcy deserves to be selected on what he's done for us in his times that he's played for us, in particular that last game against Italy.
Do you notice anything different about these players when they're coming off 2 defeats since they've had these disappointments, as opposed to at the start of the campaign where it's all in front of them?
Not really, no. I think like you look at wins and losses, but you also look at the performances that the players put in, how they've trained, and Yeah, the 80 minutes is what probably the supporters and media see, but the players are working really hard in training. The performance, a lot of elements of the performance is what we asked for them, and they delivered in terms of the physicality at times, creating opportunities. So they're confident with the game that they're delivering, but we also know we have to get wins. That's why we're here, and this is another opportunity to do that this weekend.
Gregor, a simple question, I suspect not such a simple answer. Why did you lose against England?
You've asked me that one before, and I tend to respond with they scored more points than us, which is ultimately the only reason, or the simplest reason. Mm-hmm. You can look at minute-to-minute decisions from us, decisions from the opposition, decisions from the referee. You can look at points that we didn't take. There's a whole lot of reasons, and there's positive reasons too. Reasons on why we scored 3 tries, why we created those opportunities. We have to be better than sometimes the refs, but also better with our execution when we have those opportunities.
You can go and have gone huge amount of minutes in games without scoring, despite having 22 entry after 22 entry. Do you need to bring in a little bit of pragmatism? We know the brilliant rugby that this team can play, but you need a bit of scoreboard pressure at times to mix it up a bit. Or is it always about tries? No,
it would have been good to get penalties at the weekend, but we didn't get any from England, and
drop goals or something like that.
Drop goals, yeah, that'd be another way of doing it. But I don't see that as really being a strength of our team. I don't really see it being a part of the modern game as much now. When you're in the opposition 22, you're backing yourself to get a penalty advantage, or you're backing yourself to get points. And we didn't do that enough against England.
In a game that was always looking a bit tight down in Twickenham, to go from 10-7 at half-time, 13-7, 16-7, it puts a bit of pressure on them, right? It
does. Scoring tries does as well. And we'd scored 2 in the first half. We didn't have as many opportunities in the second half. I think the beginning of the second half, we had a really good opportunity. And Xander gets the ball stripped from him about 5 metres from the English try line. But a lot of the game after that was played around the halfway.
There was always about 10 entries into the 22 and no points for those 10 entries. Is that something you've thought about?
Yeah, of course.
Is it going to change your approach?
No, I think that our principles and what we want to see from our team in that area was very good. I think there's credit in the defence at times. There was probably a few occasions where we believed we should have been awarded a penalty. And there's just individual errors that will happen. I think if you were to have 10 entries in a game, you're looking at 50% being a good outcome in terms of getting points. That's the sort of average that most teams have. Obviously, we had 3 other entries that led to tries. So we know that it's unusual to get so many entries against a top quality opposition away from home, but we've got to be better at converting more of them.
And just finally for me, do you think in terms of any other changes for the weekend, second row, and are you getting what you need out of your front 5?
Yeah, we looked at every position like we normally do. We had an extra week's rest, review time. We felt that the team has been pretty consistent over the first 3 games. We started really well. We've put in place our game, the speed of ball, certainly in the Italy game, and the England game, speed of ball that we're asking for, and that requires a lot of physicality. Our line of execution's been really good, so these guys get an opportunity to play again.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.